Hey guys, it's Kip, and today is the 4th of February 2015. Um, and tomorrow marks my 5 months on tea. Um, I don't really want to talk about changes because there really hasn't been that many. Um, I wanted to talk about the way that my gender identity has really shifted in the last kind of, I guess, like 6 weeks or so. Yeah, because there hasn't really been that many changes because for the first like 4 months I was on a very low dose of testosterone. I was only taking point 0.4 or 0.35 every no, sorry, that's wrong. I was taking point 0.2 every 2 weeks, and now I'm on 0.5 every 2 weeks. Which should like bring my levels up to a normal male range eventually. I haven't had my levels checked yet, but I will. And even in that short amount of time, like this 1 month of being on the higher dose, I've noticed so many more changes. My leg hair is out of control, like it's really intense. And I don't know, like my body fat has started to redistribute, like not in any kind of significant way, but like pot belly, but like the sides, like the hips on is hippie. Oh yeah, 3 months post-op as well, which is cool. This side is healing up really well. These guys are really thin, but they're quite raised on this side because I sort of overdid it when I first got out of hospital. But yeah, what I mainly wanted to talk about is sort of the way that my gender identity has really shifted in the last couple of weeks. Before starting tea, I was pretty unsure about it. You know, like I wasn't sure that it would give the changes that I wanted and that I would feel comfortable in it. But the longer I'm on tea, the more I realize it was the best decision I could have made for myself. It feels so much better. I feel so much more aligned with my, not my body, but like my spirit. I feel so much more in line with myself. I feel like my brain has got the right chemicals in it. I feel like, I mean, there's parts of it I don't like, but I feel like the positives really outweigh the negative. I feel so much more clear-headed, and like I have the ability to be more introspective because I can now be comfortable with my own thoughts, where for a very long time I've avoided my own headspace because it wasn't a very nice place to be. So I'm really enjoying the like psychological changes in tea, most of them. I just feel like a calmer person, but also the longer I'm on tea, the more and more masculine I feel internally. Obviously, I feel more and more masculine externally because I'm getting hairier and like I think my face shape got some really good acne actually. My jaw seems to be squaring off a little bit, and like my neck is like thickened up, and I'm still pretty scrawny, but like I'm definitely a lot like chunkier than I was before. So I feel more masculine externally, but there's like this really masculine internal sense of gender. I feel very, I don't know, very male some days. I still identify as genderqueer because I do feel like I innately have this like feminine energy. I feel like there is a part of my soul that is intrinsically feminine, and I love it. And I would never want to lose that. I feel like it's one of my best qualities. But I definitely want a male vessel. I want a male, yeah, I want a male vessel to navigate through the world, not a female one that feels out of line with how I view myself internally. But I didn't realize actually how male I felt until I started transitioning. I always thought that, like, on the line of gender, if we have male over here and female over here. I always thought it was pretty smack bang in the middle. And that's why there was a lot of internal conflict over going on testosterone, because like, would it be better? Would be being seen as male help, or would it be just as uncomfortable as being seen as female? But I absolutely feel now that like, instead of being in the middle, I feel more closer to the masculine end of the spectrum. And that's been a really interesting space to navigate, because I've started to have to ask myself questions like how do I interact with the world as a guy and still be true to my own internal politics, and having to reevaluate the way that I navigate a lot of different spaces. Not that I am read as male yet, I'm still predominantly read as female, but I know that that will shift, especially now that I'm on this higher dose. I still don't think my voice has dropped, but it's definitely like there's a definite change in the texture or something. So I guess now that I'm on a higher dose, it will more likely drop. And I think when that happens, I'll be read as male much more consistently, because yeah, I find often I'm in like cafes and stuff, and people will say sir to me until I speak, or turn around. I think it's like flat chest, and I'm squaring out here. My body shape is looking very masculine, but you know, I sound like a girl. So yeah, that's been kind of interesting being called sir sometimes, and then it's kind of a bit devastating when people correct themselves. But that's another thing too that I really noticed, that I like being referred to as male, and I wasn't sure whether I would. I wondered for a long time if how I would navigate this world with trying to get people to use gender neutral pronouns, but I found that I prefer gender neutral pronouns in a queer space where people understand what that means, but when I don't want to explain myself and I'm just part of like at work or like in a supermarket or something, I really want to be read as male. That is like how I feel comfortable navigating the world. I don't think I'm binary at all, but I'm definitely more to the transmasculine end of the scale than I ever realized, and I'm really loving it. I feel like this was a really good decision. Yeah, so I guess that's my 5 months on tea update and my internal sense of gender shift. Yeah, hope everyone's good, and I'll talk to you guys next month, hopefully with some more changes. Okay.